Hey YouTube, Stretch Line Bait and Tackle, aka Old Man in a Kayak, and I want to share a lure with you that I used this weekend for the first time. I've never used this actual lure before, and I was out at Squaw Creek, and I get out there, and there's a tournament going on. So there's a lot of traffic on the lake, and a lot of pressure on the bass. I ended up catching 3 bass, but it was work. But anyway, so I'm out there in my kayak, and while I'm fishing, I see there's a lot of boats. I mean, everybody's fishing. People are throwing crankbaits, and people were throwing plastics. That's all I saw people throw. This was the third or fourth day of February, I guess. I know it would have been the second day. I'm sorry, the second day of February. We had a warm front move through. 85-degree sunny weather out there. A little bit windy, but 85-degree sunny day. First warm day we've had this year. Water temperature was 68, 69. It's a power plant lake, so it stays warm year round. But anyway, so I was out there. I'm fishing. I'm using my normal stuff that I use on that body of water, such as my white bomber, fat fingerlings, and things like that. And I was throwing the Berkley coal shad a little bit. But when I started that morning, I got over this before the wind started picking up. There was in these coves flooded timber, and there was a lot of the water was still and glass, and it was warm, and I was on the sunny bank, right? So I pulled out this lure and I started working it, and bam, caught one. Caught a decent one, and then a little bit later on, I had one blow up on it right next to the bank, right next to the boat. Those are that always gets you when one falls. It's so close to the boat and bites right next to the boat there. But anyway, I missed him. It was a short strike. I couldn't see how big he was. You know, the ones that you don't catch are probably always the biggest of the day. But hey, I want to share with you this lure though, and I'm going to show you the lure, and I've got some live action footage I'm going to show you too of me actually catching that fish and using that lure. So anyway, without further ado, let me get you turned around over here. And what we've got here, this is the Berkley Choppo right here. I have not used one of these before. This is the first time. Now I have used topwaters, I've used frogs, and I've used I'm blank right now. Buzz baits. Buzz baits. I apologize. Been a long day already. So anyway, this is my first time using this lure right here. And like I say, this is the Berkley Choppo, and it's in a frog coloring. And it's got this propeller on the back here. That spins. And you'll see from the footage that it's a topwater, so it floats, but as you're pulling it, that propeller is spinning around and chopping the water. It's chopping the water much like a buzzbait would, but it's easier to throw. Unlike a buzzbait, it's easier to throw, and it floats. Buzzbaits don't float; they're going to sink. So, if for whatever, and when you're throwing in structure and cover and thick stuff, or trying to hit little pockets in the thick stuff, having a floating lure does help out a bunch. But anyway, so I'm gonna throw in some live footage here where I caught the fish and I didn't get the one that blew up. Camera's on the other side of the boat, but I'll show you the lure in action and the actual fish that I caught using it. And I wished I could have kept using it all day, but the wind picked up, so the calm areas were gone. So I had to switch tactics and go to I went cranking and caught my biggest one of the day. But anyway, it was a crowded lake and a pressured lake. They have tournaments just about every weekend out there when it's open. It's only open 6 months out of the year. So, but anyway, so it gets a lot of pressure. The biggest pressure is January, February, and March, because there's a tournament every weekend. Not so bad October, November, and then the spawn is usually around December on that lake. But anyway, hey, Old Man Kayak, Stretch Line Bait and Tackle. I'm going to in this video with the live footage of the lure in action, me using it and catching the fish, and you'll see the fish and all that. So alrighty, hey everybody, stay safe on the water, always wear your PFD, pick up your trash, pick up other people's trash, and yak all that trash out.
Alright, got one. How about that? What's going on off the clock? Let's see what she's getting sides to it here. Nah, it looks like a smaller one, but it's okay. Not too small. In the tournament. All right. Look at that. How about that? First one on the waffle popper. Oh yeah. I might miss y'all for a minute here. Let me Alright, hey, sorry about that. I lost some of y'all. I had to get a fish on the measuring board. Man, I wish somebody was here with me too. Alright, let's see what we can get with this waffle popper now. That was my first time using this lure. I've used top waters before, I just haven't. And then I'm going to switch over to a crankbait and a pole shaft. When I go over that shit, the other side is deeper and shaded. One of the advantages